Hey everyone, and welcome to the Microsoft Minute with EchoStor. My name is Steve Caprio, and I'm a technical lead in our Microsoft practice here at EchoStor. And I'm joined today by Chuck Salvo, who is also a technical lead in that same practice, and also a field technology lead on our innovation team. These Microsoft Minutes that we're going to be doing are going to be focused on surfacing new features, talking about existing features that may be underutilized by some customers in the wider marketplace, and otherwise just highlighting some things that Chuck and I and the team here think are pretty cool and or useful across the Microsoft stack. So sanitizing the big crazy world that is Microsoft down into some easily consumable short form videos for you here. With that being said, today we're going to touch on copilots. So Microsoft's Copilot that's from Microsoft 365 and also some custom copilots, and then talk a little bit about information governance and how some of those things tie in together. So Chuck, we talk about these things internally and we discuss things with customers. The release of Copilot to a wider audience back in November has certainly increased the talking that we've been doing back and forth with our customers and partners. It's exciting. There's a lot to think about in that, but also a lot of unknowns about how to use it, how it could be useful for organizations. And I think starting with a bit of an overview from you and where you think this is now and where you think it could go, it would be a great place to start.
Awesome. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, absolutely seeing customers adopt Copilot, right? Trying to get more productivity out of the different tool sets, whether it's Outlook, Teams, Word, Excel, seeing all those different plugins. But one of the ones I want to talk about today is custom Copilot. To me, this is a really exciting feature from Microsoft. It's grown out of the power of virtual agents, and it gives you some really cool options. Let me give you a quick demo on this. So if you see my screen over here, you'll see over here, web powerva.microsoft.com. Like I said, it's the old Power Virtual Agents, but it's been rebranded and it's now Copilot Studio. So what's cool about this is you see two different things here, custom Copilots, and then you see Copilot from Microsoft 365. So you have two things you can do with this. You can enhance Microsoft's Copilot, right? You can go in here and actually add your own custom actions, right? You'll see some stuff over here. You can go in and put service extensions and Freshdesk and so on and so forth. And with this, you can define actions. So if I click here and say new action, basically I have options, right? I can run flows, I can create conversational things, prompts, and connectors. So that's a great piece if you want to extend the Copilot from Microsoft 365. But the one that I really like is building your own Copilot. So right here, we've got one that we're working on right now. This is called the EMA, the EchoStor Marketing Assistant. And what's great about this is I can go in here and create my own Copilot powered by ChatGPT, and I can define what my knowledge sources are. So this is what's referred to as Retrieval Augmented Generation, RAG. So it's available to you right here with minimal work, right? I can go in here and basically add knowledge. I click on add knowledge. You'll see all the different spots I can bring things in from, Dataverse, public websites, so on and so forth, as well as other connectors. So just to give you a quick demo on this, so we've got it connected to our EchoStor website, some marketing resources. We've also created a custom action over here where we can go and get the weather for today. So again, some cool features in here, right? We've got function calling, we've got RAG, all inside of Copilot Studio. How EchoStor customers AI. Basically asking the virtual agent, the chatbot, to go out there and look at its data sources and come back for a solution. All right. So it's going right now, it's making a request, it's looking at the index, and it's grabbing an information for us. So it's giving us an answer. All right. And I can also ask it, so this is an example right here of calling a function. So this right here, again, when the ability to add action, I can add all sorts of different things, right? I can call connectors. You'll see it's basically predicated on flows. So you'll see over here, there's the forecast. Right? So a great solution. I'm able to bring in external data. I'm able to create a chatbot. I can go and deploy this. If I click on channels over here, you'll see over here, I can deploy it to Teams, websites, so on and so forth. So outstanding solution. But one of the things that we hear from customers is there's a lot of concern about AI and my data and what's going on with it. So with that, Steve, I think it'd be great if we talk a little bit about the purview side of how we can protect this information to make sure that customers on putting out the data that shouldn't be accessed.
Yeah, I think if you want to leave this screen up, actually, it would be a good aid for us to talk through just how some of this stuff flows down into the solutions that you're building. So to Chuck's point, really powerful. I can add a ton of different knowledge sources for my custom copilots, but within those knowledge sources, I may have data that I think is rather sensitive or data I would consider to be intellectual property or really just my crown jewels, whatever it might be. And in some cases, the Copilot's meant to interact with that data and make maybe mundane but high value tasks a bit easier for your workforce or surface interesting information about your business and really get the benefit of the AI. But with that comes the risk of the AI having access to that sensitive data, and maybe the actions that it takes on that might not be desirable depending on what it is. The nice part about what Microsoft has done here is that with Purview and the features there, it all is tied in and integrated down to the Copilot level, Microsoft Copilot for Microsoft 365 or custom Copilots. So if you're an organization that's spent some time in the Purview portal developing your label, your classification strategy for information and or applying labels, especially labels with rights management to it, Copilot's going to listen to that. The person who's interacting with that Copilot may or may not be within the scope of a label that applies information rights management to something where it maybe is read only. So the action wouldn't be able to be taken subsequently for that user. Or perhaps maybe they're even blocked from seeing it at all from a permission standpoint. It would obey that as well. So I think for organizations that have gone down to that level of information governance and talking about how they want to classify things, or maybe ones that have outside solutions that don't necessarily integrate that well with the Microsoft stack, it's a great time to start thinking about your information governance strategy ahead of rolling out these copilots or custom copilots, just to ease those concerns around data and the potential for that data to be exfiltrated or used improperly. I think it's just a nice feature set that they haven't made you wait for this. I think if they had, it would be a lot harder to talk through customers and make them feel secure in the sense that like they have control. And I think that the fact that it goes all the way down here now has just been a great benefit to the conversations we've had and continue to have with customers around Copilot and AI in general on the Microsoft side of things.
And Purview comes with what, Steve? Do they the E5, the E3?
Yeah, it's the other good thing. So like features of Purview, really the main ones are going to come in ththose M365 E3, E5 or E5 compliance add-ons. But you can buy some of that other information protection SKUs a la carte. If you have an M365 E3, which we find a lot of customers have landed in for a number of different feature sets and reasons like EMS or other Entra ID P1 type requirements, you have a lot of the capabilities of Purview and sensitive information labels and policies. If you haven't thought about it yet, it's a great time to start thinking about it. Thanks everyone for joining us today. Please keep an eye out for our next EchoStor Microsoft Minute. If you'd like more information about what we've discussed today or more about EchoStor, please visit us at echostore.com. Thanks everybody.